Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a quick update and kind of close out our house building saga. So it's been a few weeks since I've been able to upload. Basically, we got our occupancy for our house on the 24th. And I think in my video before I talked about it was a really frustrating process. Basically there were some things that we hadn't gotten done yet that we didn't know about. So we were delayed. I think it was over a week. It was about 10 days we were delayed, that we had already moved out of our apartment. So here we are living in our trailer for 10 days, which, you know, when you're planning to camp and you're like prepared for it, that's one thing. But when you're planning on only being there for like 3 or 4 days, it's kind of tough. So we got everything in, and the inspector came on that Monday, the 24th, and then everything like looked good and he gave us the sign off. So that was great. So we started unpacking the 24th, and my mom and my aunt came to visit for a couple weeks, and my dad also flew out and then drove back with them. And so they were here for a couple weeks, which kind of helped me get settled, but I still feel like I have so much work to do. And then after that, we had one of my daughter's birthday parties, and then some good friends of ours also came to visit for a weekend. So it's been crazy. I'm kind of finally starting to feel like I have a little bit of a routine together. It's taking a little while to do that, but I did want to give you guys an update and also kind of like finish off my saga, for lack of better words. And I would say overall going through the process, I'd say it took about 7 months for us to go from like breaking ground, foundation work, to completed house moving in. And a lot of people tell us like that's actually not that bad. That's actually really fast, which I would agree with them. It is fast, but you know, when you're in the middle of it, it's a long time. I mean, our entire lives have been on hold, and it's kind of been a bummer because, you know, here we are, middle of July, and it's raining outside, which is ridiculous. It's been like 60s the last couple days. We had a really good weekend. It was like in the 80s, but I feel like it's not even summer, and it's been kind of hard on me because I want to get out. I want to go to the pool, or there's a lake really close to where we live now, and I want to go to the lake and go swimming and just like lay by the lake or lay by the pool. And I can't do that because it's just been rainy and crazy. But I would say overall, the process to build was very stressful because the reality is there's a lot of unknowns that go into it. You don't really know how much money you're going to end up spending because you'll get started on stuff and things just cost more, or you'll run into an issue. One of our last major issues is we had to build a deck in order to finish it because it was part of like the permit process, and the county basically demanded basically the strictest rules you can have for building a deck. It's not like my husband was trying to cut corners or anything, but per building code, you can build your deck, I guess, a little bit differently, but they wanted it per like this really strict code. So basically it's talking about more supports, more concrete footers, more this, more that. So it ended up costing us an extra few $1,000s more. So yes, we're in a lot of debt right now, but it's not like we're in so much debt that we can't control it. And I think overall we went over budget. I mean, this is reality. About 30 grand. And that's including the issues with the excavator, the extra costs on the deck, and we also ended up doing a couple more upgrades that we weren't planning on doing. But when we talk to people about it, it's only really 8% of the total budget. So a lot of people say you actually have to plan for close to 20%. So they said realistically we did pretty good. Now, granted, you know, life's been crazy, and we're probably going to be really cutting back on as much spending as we can so that we can save as much money, because my goal is by like this time next year, we'll have all like our credit cards and stuff paid off. So I'm going to try to like talk about like how we'll do that, because it's going to be a fun challenge, and it'll be something I can discuss and maybe help anybody out there that might be struggling with financials, because let's be honest, everyone can struggle with that for a while. But overall, I'm so glad we did this. Like, remember when I was like halfway through and I was like about ready to throw in the towel and be like, I'm done, I want to walk away. But in a lot of ways, we built this house for way less than what it's worth. And we have friends right now that are buying homes, and several of them have said like they've put offers in on homes where they're paying more for for older homes with smaller yards, and they're like almost kind of jealous that, you know, we got all this space and stuff. But realistically, I mean, it was a lot of work, and it's not something everybody's meant to do. And I don't think it's for everybody, for sure. But I have to do it over again. I think if I knew now what I know, I would probably do it over again. In some ways, now that I kind of know kind of the pitfalls that you can run into, I think that we would be a little bit more, not picky, but we might be a little bit more careful on what we choose to spend our money on. We might also be like, okay, what are real things that we have to have? You know, because sometimes you have like deal breakers or things that you need to have, and you don't realize that, yeah, you can maybe, you know, fudge those a little bit or something like that. So I would say overall, it's been a very interesting experience. It's been tough in a lot of ways because, you know, it's stressful. It's stressful in a marriage. It's stressful in a family. But now that we're in the house and we're in a great neighborhood with a lot of families with kids, I actually invited the neighborhood kids to my daughter's birthday, and a few of them came and brought gifts, and I've actually already gotten an invite for one of the neighbor kids' birthdays, and it just makes me happy thinking like this is the neighborhood that my kids are going to grow up in, and there's already like 10 kids, I think, between basically roughly around the ages of my kids, so all school age to like infant, and I love it. And so I'm so excited. I mean, I'm still like really overwhelmed. My mom came to help me unpack, and we got things like into the house. We have everything from like storage unit, from friends' houses, families' houses in the house. But now it's like, okay, what do I do with all this stuff? Like, it's amazing how my house was like half the size, the one that we moved from, and yet we filled up this house. So I might try to do, I didn't get an empty house tour because, well, long story short, it was a frustrating situation and we weren't really allowed to be here. And so we had to stay in the trailer, and then we had to move in all our stuff early because we ran out of rental with our truck. So we basically had everything in like piles in the middle of the floor. So I wasn't able to do that, but I am planning on each room I finish, I'm going to do like a room tour. I think my girls' room is getting pretty close. So I think that one's going to be coming up in the next couple weeks. That's my goal. And then we will, I just want to kind of reveal maybe one room at a time. And then when it's all done, I'll do like a whole house tour. So if you guys have any questions about building, if you, any comments or anything, please leave them below. Let me know what you think, and I will do my best to answer them. Like I said, I would say building is not for everybody. You have to have a strong marriage, and you have to also like be able to like roll with the punches, because things will not work out the way you want them to, and you have to kind of be able to like handle that. So thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around, and I will talk to you guys later.